Hey everybody, my name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker from the Netherlands, and now we're getting somewhere. Look at this. Not too long ago it looked like this. Now that is a challenge. Maybe you've seen the updates. We've done quite a bit of work with the whole team, and now we are this. This bit here was for me my main concern. Um, the really tricky bit. I'll show you because this, it's very thin, was there. What I'm holding was the completely rusted and broken winding stem that was stuck here in the main plate. Maybe you remember from last week. Well, I'll show you now. That was... You've got only one chance to do it right. If it fails, well, the main plate is damaged. Here you can see, where are we? There we are. This is the bit that was stuck and broken inside the main plate. Then with Fat Bertha, if you're wondering who that is, maybe you watch a few updates before this one. Fat Bertha is a huge jig borer, a Deckel KF, and it can drill incredibly accurate in the place just where you want it. And look at this. To be honest, I'm quite proud. Edwin did the drilling or the boring, but look at this. Right in the middle of the broken bit, without touching the sides. And that is just drilled out very old carbon steel. And then he could pull it out. And then the main plate was clear, was nice. No signal. Of course there's signal, there it is. So it was stuck inside this. So we had to place it like this, incredibly firm, and it was stuck in here. If the drill goes like that sideways, it just horror. Went incredibly well, and there was a tiny bit sticking in here, but you can see a hole, so we can, well, Edwin again did it, pushed it out that way. So now the main plate is nickel plated, and we did the first fitting here. The gear train is in place and it moves incredibly smooth. Incredibly smooth. Still loads to do. You can see here we still have to refit a jewel. There's probably some wear in here. We've got the new bearings, but we are getting there. And all original parts, apart from the gear train, of course, that was completely rusted. But if you can see this, that gear train was not solvable, but loads of parts were, even the balance wheel. We are as a team amazed how many parts we could be cleaned and rescued. So there it is. After that, the rotor for the automatic winding, that is that one. And I will show you, would like to show you a bit more. You can see tiny scratches underneath the nickel plating, but it was well worth it. Because not too long ago it looked like this. There. This was before nickel plating, same part. There you can see a bit of scraping on the inside, and you can see the brass shining coming through. Well, then we did the nickel plating, and well, you can see a bit of the scraping in there, but all the brass is covered and protected by the nickel. It is nice to show you this. You can see the pivot for the rotor, and there you see it, has to be refitted. That was carbon steel, completely rusted, gone. So this is the rotor after nickel plating. The rotor I am holding now has got a beautiful finish. There you can see the black polish. It is reflecting the light. It is not reflecting the light. So I stick it on some Kapton tape. Kapton tape I've got here, but I'll show you in a moment, is really heat resistant and quite tough, and nice and protective tape for watch parts, we think. This pivot needs to be riveted, just puff like that, and then it's stuck inside the part, and I'll show you step by step. So the rotor now is only in place friction fit and with the Kapton tape. Here from the staking set, it's a nice flat stake, and that is pushing the rotor down, so it's completely flat on the rotor and on the pivot itself. Just a few taps, but that will straighten things out. And then I turn the stake, because if the stake might be not quite straight, if you rotate it like I'm doing now, oh, I see the black nails from the polishing. If you rotate it, you're compensating that. This is the stake. You can see it's the 1570, so the 1500, just like this, and that is for riveting this pivot in the rotor. And with this stake, it is very important not to turn, but leave it in one position, rivet, tap, 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 then the metal will go like this. And it's nice if you keep it in one position, because you got a nice straight rivet, and that is really what we want. And that tape is just to protect the nice and shiny surface, that's all. And the staking tool is perfect flat and 90 degrees, so if you are riveting, it is perfect in one go. Just to have a look if it's nice and stuck, if the rivet is okay. Carbon tip tweezers not to make scratches in the new nickel plating. And there it is. The old original, can you believe it? The old original rotor with a brand new pivot, just like here, ready to go. This is a bit gritty. We leave it like that. That is authenticity. That is part of the watch and the story of the watch. So things are really coming together. All parts are in, and I am quite convinced that next week the update will be a running movement and maybe the watch completely cased. After that we still have got a full week of testing on the watch winder, see if the automatic winding is okay, if it's nice and stable, if it's running well. It has to be perfect. It still is a Rolex. Oh, and one thing I forgot, almost forgot. Before we did the nickel plating and removing this bit that I'm so incredibly proud of, we still had to use these. Can I show you? Yeah, there. This is a nice assortment for threading all kinds of sizes, measurements, and we had to pick out the perfect one. It's not this one, we used one from the other set, but just to show you, to open it. Ja, kom hier. There. We had to refresh the thread in all those holes, there, of course there where the screws are, there, to refresh the thread. Otherwise, because there was so much rust, a screw couldn't go in. So with these, the thread were all refreshed. No oversize, but just to clean it. And then it was nickel plated, and that is such a thin layer, and no problem with that with the new screws. So everything is original. I'm going to place a jewel there and then start to build up the movement with just about all original parts, and everything that was carbon steel, well, that was so rusted, we replacing with Rolex parts. And but we are amazed how much of the original authentic parts were still usable after restoration. I really do hope you enjoy these small updates. This is the most difficult task on restoration that we ever did. Well, that you can do. It cannot be more well, tarnished and horrible like this. But I am convinced we are going to make a nice, beautiful, original restoration project. Within 2 weeks we are meeting the Steel family. You are going to be part of well, the trip our team is taking to the UK, and well, returning this beautiful watch with an amazing story to the Steel family. Again, please share your comments. I read every single one of them. And if you like these updates, please give us the thumb up. All of you, thank you so much. Hey, see ya. Bye-bye.